Bonjour!
Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video or review because we're going to talk about the E100. I received plenty of DMs of people asking me how to play the tank in the current meta, and I gotta be honest with you, even if back in the days this tank was a real beast to face thanks to your gold shells being purchasable in gold only, nowadays it's kind of a struggle when you see such tanks as the Kranwagen and all those kind of new super heavy that have an insane armor, whereas this one, when you switch to gold shell, will get penetrated quite easily. But trust me, this one still has a lot to offer, and that's exactly what we're going to go through in this video. First thing first, let's talk. I'm not going to go over the all points about the tank. All you need to understand is that you have a tank destroyer gun that has a bad aiming, a bad gun dispersion, and a good DPM. The main factor about the E100 is that with its 640 alpha damage shell, which can climb up to more than 900 if you manage to shoot HE and penetrate, you will be a beast and you will be a nightmare to opponents that you can penetrate. For example, Sheridan, Grill, all those kind of tanks that you can penetrate with your HE. And that's what makes this tank a little bit special in my eyes at tier 10. Now, for the rest, your mobility sucks, literally horrible, but that's logic. What do you expect from an E100 beside that? And one last thing maybe to add concerning the equipments. I used to play it with Gunrama, but I feel like calibrated shell could be a good idea as well, knowing that if you use calibrated shell, you nearly have 100 millimeters of row penetration with your HE. Personally, I would rather go for the Gunrama because I'm not really comfortable enough to play with calibrated shell, especially at tier 10 with an E100, because if I struggle penetrating, I just switch to gold, but it's all up to you. After, I go for the enhanced gun lane drag to reduce my aim time because I told you it sucks. Finally, the refined gun to decrease a little bit that gun dispersion, which is quite huge. And simply because with nearly 15 seconds of reload, if you miss your shot, you are going to be upset. It's not like an E25 that can reload every 2.8 seconds. No, here you definitely need not to miss your shell and make every single one of them count. That's why we go for the refined gun. After, for the vitality, I go first for the defense system, simply because I want to, because I'm not going to ram anybody, and usually if people ram them toward you, you are going to smash them quite easily. After, I go for the enhanced armor, and that's where a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Most people go for the improved assembly. I'm going to tell you why I go for the enhanced armor. Simply because the armor of the E100 is 250 millimeters thick row. Therefore, when you angle it, you can climb up to, let's say, around 260 millimeters. If you had that special enhanced armor equipment, you can make it climb up a little bit higher, for example, around 265, 270 millimeters of row penetration. Therefore, you're going to make it harder for your opponents to penetrate your turret cheeks, which is your main weak spot, unfortunately, on this tank. Whereas if you don't use it, they will penetrate like butter, especially through gold shells. That's why I go for the enhanced armor. After, I go for the toolbox because enhanced track is useless on this tank. Improved optics because I don't need the camera rating as I'm not going to camp. Engine accelerator simply because I want to improve my mobility that sucks. And finally, consumable delivery system, because even if you use adrenaline with this tank, with 15 seconds of reload, you definitely need to try out something else. Now, I'm going to show you real quick the armor profile of the tank so you understand how to angle it, and after, we're going to go for some live battles. This, guys, is the most important part of the video, simply because that's where you will understand how to angle your tank. When you don't angle it, as you can see, yes, you have a lot of armor because you're using enhanced armor, because you're already angled, etc., etc. But still, it's not enough for people not to be able to penetrate and to go through it. You also have that weak spot here, but we don't care. We don't really care about this one. What is important is the armor profile of the turret. Here is the main weak spot. This is where it becomes quite easy to penetrate you. Don't worry, not a lot of people know that and not a lot of people will try. How do you want to angle your tank? If you go like this, as you can see, you increase it quite a lot. Is it enough? Because if you go too far, it becomes a weak spot, the side of the turret. Whereas if you don't go too far, you can still penetrate with your gold shell through the turret. That's the point where you're going to try to look for. Let me show you. Not like this, perfectly to the middle, because perfectly to the middle, at least if you stay in front of your opponents, they are going to be able to penetrate that part? No. What you want to do is right before, you see that little part here, you will see it on the tank module during the game. But you want to make sure that this part here is nearly aligned with this little hole there. And if that's the case, you are going to see that all of a sudden your armor profile becomes much more interesting. This is how you want to angle your E100 all the fucking time. That's what you need to look for, that little hole here. It's extremely important because if you don't angle it like that, you are going to get penetrated. Of course, if we are talking about tank destroyers, they will still go through it because 334 millimeters of raw penetration, every single tank destroyer with gold shell has it. But trust me, if you're facing heavies, if you're facing mediums and they are not using calibrated shell, congratulations, you just got yourself some juicy bounces. Now, the real question is this tank power crept in the current meta? That could be a good title. Is it power crept? Ooh. In my opinion, the E100 is like a woman. That's the redneck moment of the video. Let me explain to you why I say that. The E100 is like a woman. If you want her to be happy and therefore give you good stats, you have to treat it right. And the E100 is one of the few tanks in this game that you will not get anything with it if you don't know how to play it correctly. First thing first, let me show you how you want to angle it properly. You see that small button at the front? You angle just above it like this, and that's how, if you stay straight in front of your opponents like this, you will be able to bounce them. That's the first thing to notice, but not necessarily the least. There we go, we gotta go again, away. And as you can see, we over-angled against the VK to allow ourselves to bounce. So there we go, one. Can we maybe sneak a good shot on the side armor of the VK? Yes, we can. And up, we go back to a safe position. And as you can see, when I'm side scraping against that IS-8, I'm not showing the front of my tank. If I show my frontal turret, this IS-8 will penetrate. So I would rather wait for him to bounce all his shells like he did here for me to after crawl around the corner and try my luck. And that's exactly what we're doing. And you're going to see that it works greatly. Okay, there we go. We're probably going to take a shot in the process here. But that's the price to pay. That's the price to pay if you want to have some good sneaky shots on that IS-4, which is the one I fear the most out there for the moment. Okay, can we maybe try to get the IS-8? He's not watching us, so maybe we can try something there. Yes, and oh, 800. As you can see, the max roll on that tank is quite insane, especially when you're calibrating a 640 alpha damage. Nice, nice, nice. Now, let's go for the rest. Oh, there is the motion. There we go. Can we maybe... Oh. That shell did me dirty. That shell did me really, really dirty. That's the risk of the profession. So there we go. Adrenaline once again. Can we maybe sneak a shot on the IS-8? Yes, we can. As you can see, for the moment, I don't need to push aggressively. I'm not trying to do anything stupid. I play with the statistics my tank has to offer. And what does my tank has to offer that others don't? 640 alpha damage, and if you angle it properly, the possibility of winning a couple of matches. So no, this tank is not power crept. It's just not suitable when you don't know how to play. Let's put it in perspective like that. This is the kind of tank, if you're bad with it, you just don't know how to play it. It's not necessarily because the tank is bad on its own. Alright, there we go. I love the fact that the IS-8 really doesn't give a shit about me. That's hilarious. So there we go. Max roll, unfortunately, for only 461 damage. But it's not a problem. Now we have to deal with the VK. Is he watching me or something? Yeah, we're gonna try to make him bounce, okay? Or maybe we actually don't need to. Oh, I could have tried. I didn't, but I could have. Alright. Now we gotta angle against that object 140. There we go for the angling. The guy missed us. It seems like it's gonna be a juicy. Yeah, it's gonna be a juicy game. Let's see what we can do against the object 140. As you can see, what I did here, even if I'm a top alpha tank, or I'm supposed to be one because I'm a super heavy tank, I did not try to go forward to push like a goddamn retard or anything like that. No, I did not go for that. Oh man, I thought HE could penetrate the side of the rear, sorry, of the object 140. I guess I was wrong. But as you can see, I tried to keep my HP Because the 100 back in the days was a beast when it comes to actually try to attack targets, etc. Nowadays, you gotta play carefully. And that's what I did. That's what I did. Okay, unfortunately for me, yeah, I got quite unlucky here. We're gonna try to angle artificially our armor by pushing ourselves against the hill. Is he gonna try something, or... Can I penetrate with HE? I'm curious. No, I don't think I can. Oh. Ho, ho, ho. Isn't that a terrible thing? Twice I bounced that object 140. I'm retarded. Okay, let me show you trying to angle the tank. Unfortunately, as I told you, the mobility is definitely not among the best. Back, 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 back. There we go. We sneak a shot. Can we at least bounce him maybe 1 or 2 times? That would be perfect. Not too much. 5, 4. Oh, okay, we locked him. Perfect. I'm gonna go for a gold shell just to secure the kill. And yeah, we ended up with 600 damage. Of course, I fucked up at the end. I fucked up against the 140. But gladly for me, the guy was still playing badly. I'm still gonna give him a thumbs up though. Worthy opponent. But yeah, honestly, this tank is not power crept. It's just that the playstyle changed from an unstoppable bunker to something you gotta play a little bit more smartly. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think it's power crept? Do you still like the 100? I'm curious about what you think, guys, about that tank. Thank you all for joining. Au revoir.